Hey y'all. I am here, I think. Let me know. Okay, how are y'all doing? I hope it's not too bad, because it has been a struggle. There we go. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay as well. Hey Cortez. Hey everybody. Thanks for your patience. Yeah, the internet was down like in our whole area, it seemed. Like I was looking at like the Wi-Fi, because you know how you can kind of see your neighbors' Wi-Fis and stuff. Like all of them were gone. And then I could slowly see them coming back. Hey de Haviland. And I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. And then mine came on, so here we are. Apologies in advance if it does crap out again. I hope it doesn't. It has been a journey. You guys can hear me? That's perfect. Hey Sandy, hey Rick. How is everybody doing? You guys have a good weekend? Because I had a good weekend. It was very relaxing. I didn't do a whole lot, but sometimes I like it that way. But yeah, how are y'all doing? Are you guys ready to talk about GH? Because I sure am. Got some new music vibes going on today. Hey SLJ. Good to hear de Haviland. Alright, sorry, I'm still just kind of gathering or getting my bearings here. Making sure everything's set up so I can see the chat and see y'all and see my notes all at the same time with this camera set up. It's still in chaos, even more so because I was a bit flustered with the internet going down. But I think I have it all good to go. Don't even like the character Willow, and I feel like they ruined her character this week with her bullshit. It's useful saying she wanted to stop being a nurse because she's with Michael. Yeah, it's we'll talk about that as well for sure. Is it still called GH? They've changed everybody and everything. Yeah, everything's changing so fast. It is nuts. It is nuts, and I feel your pain. We've talked about it on here already, right? So y'all know how I feel on these sudden changes of characters for literally half the cast at this point. But yeah, what's up everybody? Welcome to General Hospital Envy, my GH after show. I'd say this week was a mixture of like fluffy filler and more bizarre personality and opinion flips, like you guys are even saying in the chat already. I want to be as stoked as the whole cast is because, you know, hearing Steve and Bradford talk about the show with such excitement and saying that all the veterans are excited and everyone that's working are just excited because it's so unpredictable for them because things are changing fast and everything. I just don't know if they would have the same feeling if they were a viewer. But yeah, I watched Stephen Bradford's podcast earlier today where Kirsten Storms guest star. And I don't think the podcast was from today. It was from a couple days ago. But she and Bradford and Steve seem really excited for some of the stuff that they shot together recently. Obviously things that we haven't seen yet, because we haven't seen Maxie, Jason, and Spinelli on screen together yet. And as much as I have been pretty hard on the writers, I will say that the highlight of the new writers for me has been that they've given Maxie her personality back, which Kirsten even addressed during the podcast. She also mentioned that she's gone back to putting Maxie in more fashionable things and doing her makeup in the ways Maxie used to do her makeup, even saying that the reason she dressed in the clothes she was before was because it was the only clothes that she personally felt comfortable in after her brain surgery. So it really was just a matter of mental health for Kirsten and what she was going through that kind of changed Maxie's wardrobe. To be honest, I didn't realize that the cast had such a say in their wardrobe and their makeup. But I guess that was the case. So I know in hindsight, I do feel a little bit bad that we've kind of all collectively were like, man, Maxie dresses so horribly. What's wrong with wardrobe? And it was really just Kirsten's choice. And you know, I can't speak to the ins and outs of what Kirsten was going through mentally, other than what she spoke of in the podcast. But you know, it is what it is. That was her reason. It wasn't the wardrobe's choice. It was hers. And now we've kind of gotten the old Maxie back. And she also made a comment about how the upcoming Spixie and Jason scenes are nostalgic and very much classic Spixie. Almost like they picked up right where they left off all those years ago when Spixie were kind of in their prime, only with more maturity. And ultimately, that's kind of exactly what I wanted to hear wanted for them if they were going to go with Spixie. Because I adored them back in the day. I've told you guys this. I was just worried about, well, the characters of who they are now have changed so much, it's not going to be the same dynamic. But Maxie has been getting that side of herself back. So if they can bring some of that magic back, I'm down to see it, honestly. I'm definitely intrigued, to say the least. I'm curious. I hope that it's as good as they really hyped it out to be, because honest to God, like Steve, Bradford, and Kirsten seemed so thrilled as to what their new dynamic is and how nostalgic it is and how the writing now is reminding them of what it was like back in the day. And so yeah, the classic formula of Spinelli always helping Jason get rid of this let us stalemate. Whoop, almost lost the chat there, sorry guys. But yeah, I don't know, like, here's the thing, like, we know that Spinelli's obviously going to work with Jason again, but right now Jason's not in the mob, and I don't think, I mean, if they're shooting a month ahead, right, so I don't think the stuff, hey Sabrina, I don't think the stuff with Sonny and Jason is going to be resolved right away, and right now Jason's working for the law, like, as messed up as it is. He's working for the law and for the coffee importing thing, so we'll see what happens. But I loved Spixie back in the day. And it's not that I loved Spinelli working for Jason necessarily. I just loved the way Jason and Maxie's relationship was and the way Jason and Spinelli's relationship was away from the mob. Because I like, when I think of like prime Spixie, I think to like 2009, you know, like when the non-wedding era, like after they had already kind of established themselves as a couple and before they fell apart. That was like prime Spixie to me. Like the fact that Jason like wore a pink tie to the wedding, and like, you know, just things like that. Just, I want that part of the relationship back. I don't see Spinelli working really for the mob full time again. And to that end, Bradford and Kirsten said that it's like their relationship is going right where they picked up, and I think that spoke just to like their relationship. And obviously Spinelli adores Jason. He's going to be in his quarters, but he's not going to be living in his house, I don't think, anymore. Because I think he'll likely move in with Maxie once they've kind of aired that whole situation out of, you know, how him and Felicia kind of duped her a little bit. But I don't know. I'm intrigued to see where they're going to go with it, just because they're so stoked on it. But enough about that. Let's get into the actual recap, shall we? If y'all are ready. Since we talked about Maxie, let's just continue down that path and talk about deception. Maxie, she got a visit from Natalia, Blaze's mom, who had all sorts of questions and concerns about Brooklyn being her manager and how serious she took herself in that role, as well as Brooklyn's role in deception. And Maxie, of course, jumped to Brooklyn's defense and praised her work ethic and how invested she is in Blaze's music career in general, and music in general as well. And then later in the week, we see Lucy being, well, Lucy, gloating about how much her fans loved her appearance, but Maxie and Scott, they set her straight, saying that her popularity among her specific fan base didn't translate to sales, and that people didn't start buying products until Sasha took over that broadcast, and that they need to find a spokesperson that can get that job done through the whole broadcast. Oh, Sandy, all new sets are nice, and the mayor still has no office. Yeah, we've seen Laura's office for sure. But yeah, we are getting a lot of new sets, I'm noticing. Some of them are nice, some of them aren't, but we've definitely seen Laura's office before. But yeah, anyway, it was Natalia's visit earlier in the week that actually gave Maxie the, well, we can't really call it a good idea, but the idea that Brooklyn might be the perfect candidate to be Deception's products spokesperson on TV appearances. So everyone from Deception gathered at the Q Mansion to test her out, and boy did she bomb multiple times. Lucy tried to show her how it's done, and that went as well as you would expect it to. So then Brooklyn's Ma, Lois, stepped into to show her how it's done, and she crushed it. And everyone took notice. Brooklyn, Maxie, and even Lucy took notice and offered her the job, which Lois gladly accepted. I'm really happy that this clearly means that Rena Sofer is probably here to stay for the foreseeable future. Ultimately, I would love to have her in a better story, maybe involving music again, perhaps finding love of her own again. So many possibilities for Lois, but it's a start. I just want to see her back in music. Like, even if she's just working at the Savoy or something and getting the bands to go there, I would love to see her be like a bit more classic Lois. But thankfully, Rena can make anything enjoyable because she's that good. Also, I don't know if y'all seen it, but Rena Sofer and Vanessa Marcel were hanging out, like Lois and Brenda. They did like a Zoom thing together. It was cool to see. Yeah, I'm glad she's staying too, Sandy. I think it's wonderful to have Lois as the Deception model, you're saying, de Havilland. I think they did a good job casting her. I think, what was I going to say? Yeah, like, the thing about Lois and how Rena plays her is that she seems so relatable and, like, very, like, what you see is what you get, and very, like, a straight shooter and also trustworthy. Like, there's a lot that Rena brings to that role. And so I do think that she fits being the Deception model really well. And she made a comment about how all the people in the neighborhood that watch Home and Heart will be so excited to see her on TV, and that's very much classic Lois. I just want to see her in, like, boss mode, you know? Nathan, you said hopefully Rena Sofer gets a good story on GH and isn't there like others are. Yeah, it's I hope she does. I think we're still probably far away from it. But she's clearly staying, and I think one thing too is that they didn't, the writers, even though with new writers now, would be like they didn't know whether Rena was going to stay, whether or not she'd be well received again, and she has been. And now that they've kind of settled in, maybe we'll start to get to see more stories involving Lois. At least I hope so. Kaiwan, you said they should really make Lois a YouTuber or an influencer or a specialized. I mean, I could see it, but like, Deception could easily do their own YouTube channel and like have her do stuff on there, and then also have her appearances on Home and Heart. Like, they could do it. It's 2024. Most celebrities, quote unquote, and products have their own channels, and they go and do their live streams, and they go and do their Instagram lives and all this stuff. So they could easily utilize that too. Moving on though. Let's talk about the former face and spokesperson of Deception, Sasha. In the previous week, Olivia had asked her to become the Quartermain cook. And this week, we seen her test her cooking out on Olivia, Michael, Wiley, and Leo. And she brought a plate to Cody as well, letting him know that she was auditioning to become the Quartermain cook, and how it came with the offer of room and board at the Quartermain mansion, which of course Cody was stoked on. It even led to them kissing finally, and I'm here for it. I think that the writers, whether it's new or old, the writers that have had a hand in Sasha and Cody's story, they've spent more than enough time of Sasha grieving for Brando and Liam and the trauma of what Gladys put her through, and she's been making changes to her life that she deems as positive. I don't know if helping Cody dig in the hay and like cooking for a rich family is like great, but she thinks it's great, so I guess it is what it is there. And plus they've been really slow burning Cody and Sasha for a long time at this point. I think that it's while it's not like the most interesting story, it's the best way to go at this point. Like, go all in, make them a couple. Where is Ned? I don't know. Where is Ned? Oh, and you agree with me about Lois? Yeah. Could be a death coming this week. We'll see. I mean, Gregory's is definitely happening one way or another. That's the reality of the situation. It's gonna happen one way or another. Back to the cooking though. So she passed Olivia, Michael, and Leo's test, and Wiley's. But the real test would be Tracy the next day. She was not happy that Sasha was hired instead of professional cooks that don't want anyone else in their kitchen. Sasha made lunch for everybody, and by everybody I mean like all the kids in town were pretty much there. Like Georgie, James, and Violet were all there. Aiden even showed up. And of course Tracy had some things to say about that too. But before Tracy even tried the lunch, she demanded she make her something for dinner and then went outside to wait. Gregory was there too, because he was there for like the deception stuff as well. And he and Tracy had a really nice conversation outside. She talked about Luke, and then they talked about what life was really all about, and Gregory's words about life being about loving life and the people who are in it and being grateful for them really touched her. And Gregory got a plate from lunch saying it's delicious, told her to try it, and she did, and she liked it. And she went into the kitchen and told Sasha that lunch was delicious and that she didn't need to make her supper to prove herself. So Sasha is officially the Quartermain cook. Yay! De Havilland, you said, I really hope Brooklyn and Chase's wedding is worth the wait. I hope so too. I do know that Lois's mom is coming back for it. So I'm excited to see her again. And I think they have other family members showing up too. I do think working for a rich family is how you become a good cook, basically in the real world. You do think or you don't think? I mean, it's definitely a way to get a crash course, but we know that she has experience in working in a restaurant that was fancy, so we know she can cook. And I think she'll be able to keep up with demand because Olivia doesn't want her to really do it full time because she still loves to cook herself. So she'll get, dinners that she doesn't have to make herself at times as well. Sandy, you say, do you love Tracy and Gregory? I love their friendship too. I really do. Yeah, their friendship, it's really nice to see. And it's also really endearing because we know how much Tracy adores Finn. And while obviously Gregory and Tracy bumped heads initially, I think Tracy quickly softened to him, especially when she figured out what he's going through. And she's also been such a good, listening ear for him and advice giver and helping him see where his son is coming from and, giving him perspective. I think they are really good for each other as well in that sense. Wonder if Chase's mother will come for the wedding. Well, if she doesn't, I hope that they address why she isn't there. I mean, obviously, I think the actress that last played Jackie Templeton isn't available anymore. And obviously Demi Moore is not going to come back. So I would be okay with, a recast for her. I know a lot of people liked the actress that played her, but we're not getting her back, and I don't think people, I don't know. She hasn't been in the Chase dynamic for a long time. Gregory makes Tracy much nicer. Yeah, honestly, they even talked about Luke, so, I like that too, and I like that she said that he would likely hate him, sorry. Sasha being a cook for her ex, just so not it. I can't. Hey, Angel. Yeah, it's weird, but also, we know that Michael and Sasha are friends too, so it's I guess it's fine. Really, essentially, Sasha gave him up so that, they could protect Wiley. And then she found someone new, so I don't think there's any love lost there, To Havlin, you said Crazy Nina and Drew was growing on me as a couple. I think I like them as a couple. God knows something different. I don't know if I feel the same way. Oh, man. Michael and Willow don't eat their meals in the main house routinely. That's true. But yeah, anyway, one thing that I've noticed, especially lately, but even this week, GH seems to be on quite the trend of sending everyone in new career paths. So that was really the theme of this week. Because in this week, we saw alone, and I have a list here. So, Kurt is getting offered working at the fitness and wellness center that Drew is setting up and accepting it. Willow considering leaving nursing to work for Drew on a non-profit, non-paid position to be a spokesperson for his other project about the wonderful world of bone marrow transplants. And I'm pretty sure she's going to take that too, because it'll give her more time with her kids than nursing does. I forget who said it earlier in the chat, but it is a bit ridiculous that we saw Willow and how much she wanted to be a nurse, and now that's suddenly changed. We need nurses in the hospital. The show is called General Hospital. Yeah, we get John Travolta's, I think is it his mother? I think it's his mom, right? Michael and Willow do indeed. Yes, lots of opportunities opening up for many. Hey, Theodora. I think being the cook is a come down from being the co-owner of a cosmetics company. Yeah, but we've seen Sasha also say that she wanted to be less in the spotlight and for her life to be a bit more simple. And this is a way to do it. And she saves money. She doesn't have to pay for rent. Lives in a big fancy house. Is living close to the guy that she's now kind of seeing. So there's a lot of upsides for her. And she gets to be near the horses, which apparently she loves as well. So. And I also love that before Tracy was so accepting of Sasha being the cook, that Cody was kind of like, whatever happens, like, I'm not gonna like leave you without a home. You can live with me in the stables if you want, and sleep in the bed, and I won't sleep in the bed. I can get a cot. Like, I don't know. They're writing Cody to be a good guy. It'll be interesting to see if they go back to the Mac stuff, because obviously we're still up in the air with John still being out of commission for now. I haven't heard any updates. I hope that we hear something from him soon. Oh, she's his big sister. Okay. I really hope that Carly does not fall for John. They seem to be going that way. Kawan said, I think they want to make Willow rich. I mean, if they break them up. Listen, I feel like anyone that's ever dated Michael, I mean, either dies, let's be real, or just gets written horribly, and then they thrive once they're broken up. Like the character that he was with thrives away from him. Like Sasha thrived away from him. And got better stories, and got better romance, and got, like, you know, they really utilized her once they broke her and Michael up. She was more than just someone's arm candy. Even with Brando, she was still more than just his arm candy. She, like, had her own life, her own career. Like, yeah, she made some really bad mistakes, got into drugs, but we saw her go through that, and we got to see, I forget the actress's name, but we really got to see her shine and show that she could actually act. Trina becoming a nanny. Oh Lord. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, Trina becoming the nanny for Ace, and even Jocelyn considering no longer becoming a doctor and dropping out of those courses. Again, we're losing nurses and staff, like left, right, and center. But the reason Jocelyn did that is because she made those decisions solely on Dex, and well, can't have that. I mean, not necessarily a nanny, but a babysitter, pretty much. They don't want Trina in school. Also, you know, Carly's back at the Metro Court. Dex got accepted into the police academy as well, and has started training. We'll talk about that momentarily. Even Dante right now is torn about continuing to be a police officer because he too feels like he's going too easy on his dad, and we'll also get into that a little bit later as well. Adora, you said Christina's catching feelings for Molly and TJ's baby. Everyone sees it, and Molly doesn't see it yet. Yeah, we'll address that too. That's definitely in my notes here as well. But for now, let's quickly talk about Aiden. One day he came over to GH to drop off some dessert treats for Nurse Amy's off-screen birthday. And Elizabeth noticed that he had some paint on his backpack and mentioned that the week before he came home with paint in his hair. So Elizabeth is getting worried that he's getting bullied at school again, which, if you recall, was Aiden's first real story as a child, because Charlotte, the demon child of Valentine, was bullying him. She's apparently in boarding school in Switzerland again, so at least we know it's not her. Jocelyn didn't really want to be a doctor. It was centered around Dex. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I think Christina is going to keep TJ and Molly's baby. Yeah, I think something big is going to happen there. And we'll get into that as well. That's rude, Kaiwan. That's just rude. honestly, like in my notes here, I say the actors pretty much look the same because if no one mentioned it, I wouldn't even have noticed. And I think a lot of people didn't notice in like message boards either. So I don't think it's, that's the case. But that's just me. Perhaps he is being bullied. It is possible. I mean, we know that I think Aiden's supposed to be like 14 years old or something like that. And we know that he started seeing a boy, or he likes a boy. There's a crush going on, and I think they might be together, but I'm not 100% on that. Like, listen, we see so little of Aiden again that, like, first, I didn't even notice the recast until someone mentioned it. The actor that's now playing him, his name is Tristan Riggs, and before it was Enzo DeAngelis. I'm sure most people didn't notice, honestly. I truly, I didn't. Time will tell if they're actually investing in him now with the sudden recast. It just feels like, I wonder why the recast happened, because it was literally one day apart. Like, we saw Enzo the one day and Tristan the next. So, yeah, see, like, I'm not the only one that thought that. Hey, Edmund. Yeah, we were talking about the Lois story earlier. Kaiwan, you said your opinion, not the truth. There's a difference. Because there's people in the chat that even agree that he looks exactly the same. But anyway, right now we've kind of gotten through all the fluffy part of GH. Let's kind of get into the drama parts. We'll talk about the Molly and TJ and Christina stuff since you guys brought it up already. Now, if you guys recall, in the previous week on GH, Jocelyn drunkenly told Christina about how Sonny ordered Dex to kill Cyrus Renaud. She was so distraught about it that she went over to Molly's right after to vent, and when Molly told TJ about it, it pissed him off. This week, Christina bumped into Dex in the park, called him out for a jog, and she decided to ask him if it was true, and he told her the truth, that it was true. She also questioned if he noticed a change in his behavior recently, and he mentioned he went from volatile to paranoid right after the shooting in Puerto Rico, or as Christina puts it, right when Ava moved into Sonny's. And we'll get into the Ava mess later too. Jocelyn ended up running into Dex and Christina as well, and Jocelyn apologized for the way that she told her about the truth. And then the next day, Molly and TJ invited Christina for breakfast, and Christina mentioned that Dex confirmed what Jocelyn said was true, and TJ mentioned he had heard about this argument, and Christina reassured him it's behind them because Jocelyn apologized, but TJ kind of took it upon himself to keep prying with her, asking what the argument was about, which Christina sort of mentioned without mentioning the actual crime, just saying, what Jocelyn said about my dad happened to be true. And TJ took that opportunity to be like, maybe stay away from your father for the remainder of the pregnancy, which Christina didn't take too kindly to, and felt like he was saying everything that she's done to make sure that this baby is protected and healthy wasn't enough. And she stormed off after that. Molly was not happy with TJ, but TJ was not changing his stance. He even going as far as saying things like, we'll never get rid of her after the baby is born because she's related, and she's too emotionally involved. She comes with a lot of baggage, just like constantly shitting on her for like an entire episode. And I mean, here's my thing, like, TJ's not exactly wrong, right? Sonny is a dangerous man to be around. He's a mob kingpin, and there have been enemies after him. People he's close to have died in the past, family and friends, even a wife that was carrying a baby of Sonny's. So, like, he's got a right to be nervous about it. My annoyance with this story in particular is that whether Christina was the surrogate or not, Sonny is going to be around in their life because he's Molly's uncle. He's her uncle. And, like, he's going to want a part in that baby's life anyway. And Molly, I think while she knows that Sonny's a criminal and she's the ADA, she's not going to deprive her kid of her uncle. because, you know, as far as Molly's childhood up until now, Sonny really did a decent job at protecting his family during that whole time. Yes, Morgan died, but that was also like a result of his bipolar meds going off the rails. So I don't know. There's that. And then also, while Molly hasn't seen it herself, and someone said that in the chat earlier, Christina is definitely more emotionally attached than Molly has seen for this baby. In fact, we got a few scenes this week of Christina saying things like, "my baby," when referring to the baby kicking and moving around inside of her to Alexis and Sam, and talking about the ways that the baby takes after her. And if I were to guess where the story was going, I have a feeling TJ is going to push Christina to the point where she might try to take custody of the child away from TJ and Molly, or at least just TJ. And I think if the dude just had like a little faith in her, they probably would have been fine, but the writing seems to be on the wall that something to that effect could happen when the baby is born. And like I mentioned it last week, there was a theory that like maybe Molly gets hurt and it's going to be between TJ and Christina to decide what should happen with the baby. So yeah. Oops, I almost lost the chat again. Christina and TJ will probably fight for the custody of the baby since Molly didn't file to adopt the baby like Alexis suggested. Yeah, like that's, you know, that's a good possibility as well. SLJ is Charlotte's in boarding school. I'm a bit behind, man. They nipped that storyline in the bud. What a waste of time. Well, I think they've kind of established that it's that way because of the Pikeman stuff. We'll see. I believe Cody played on One Life to Live. He sat up with one of those Buchanan girls. I really like him. One Life to Live, better than GH. I didn't watch One Life, so I can't really speak to him, but I think he's doing a pretty good job in the role of Cody. TJ was in rare form. He sure was. I don't know if I like it, but I get it. You know, to an extent, I get it. It's just weird that he's going all in and like, not really being, I don't know. Like I said, he has every right to be concerned with Sonny's role in that baby's life. But it's just stupid because Sonny's going to have a role one way or the other as either the uncle or the step-grandfather, essentially, because Christina is technically biologically the mom as well. TJ, let's see. TJ should have had those conversations before Christina got pregnant. And that's the thing. He, like, kind of did, but not with Molly. He had it with like his mom, with Portia. TJ knew this before all this happened. He is in a domestic partnership with Sonny's niece. Exactly. Theodora, you say I concur. De Havilland, is Aiden Jason's son? No, he's Lucky's. There was a moment in time where it was either Lucky or Nicholas's, but we know that he didn't sleep with, that Elizabeth didn't sleep with Jason during that time. Molly was pretty involved with Sonny as a child and teen. Yeah, I don't know why TJ is acting like this. Again, it's just like the writer is switching these characters' opinions and personalities on a whim, and it's so jarring. It's the most frustrating thing about this regime right now. Yes, Christina is now starting to think they are unfit to be parents to her baby. Yeah, the one thing that confused me is that Christina was really like kind of hard on Molly when she vented to Alexis about it later on. And Molly spent that entire time, anytime TJ was pushing on her, Molly was pushing back. Like, so I'm confused as to why Christina didn't see that part for Molly. Like, Molly was literally standing up for her every chance she got. Like, oh man. Let's see. All right. Since I kind of brought up Alexis, let's quickly talk about Alexis's first meeting with Natalia, Blaze's mom. So Natalia paid Alexis a visit at her office, addressing her concerns about Blaze and Christina and what the world might think of them if pictures of them hanging out were to leak in hanging out in public would leak. And while Christina was walking around pregnant and being close to Blaze, and how it'll affect Blaze more than Christina because Blaze is a star and public figure and Christina is a bartender. And I think in that moment it became clear to Alexis that Natalia wanted them just to not be seen at all, maybe even want them broken up. And she couldn't get Natalia out of there fast enough. Like, as soon as Alexis clocked that, she got her out of there. She's like, I'm a very busy woman, I gotta go. Like, I gotta hand it to Alexis. The woman stayed extremely professional and tight-lipped about how she truly felt about this woman. Props to her for that. Like, she just... And, like... like, that was pretty much what Alexis did. Very busy woman, the news isn't gonna write itself. Bye-bye. And then we see her, like, call Diane to vent, but of course Diane wasn't available. And so she left her a voicemail. The whiplash personality changes with the characters make no sense. I agree. It's the most frustrating part for me right now. Where is all this hate coming from TJ has for Sonny now? Again, it's like... I mean, it's probably to have, you know what it is? It's that Sonny beat up feeble old man Cyrus, probably. Even though Cyrus was probably the one that got him kidnapped before, right? Was he not the one? Ugh. I think I get what you're saying, Kaiwan. Yeah, like, obviously she's uncomfortable with the idea that her daughter is gay and she's having a hard time with it. And she knows that if she admits that, like, to an extent, like, she knows she's going to get pushed back because, you know, a lot of people these days are very much open to, you know, the LGBTQ sort of, you know, people of the world. It's like... they're here and they're just wanting the same things anyone else does. They want to find love and, you know, have their own careers and have kids and all, you know, all the things. It's just that they're doing it with the same sex. There's no difference. And thankfully, a lot of the world, or at least, you know, a lot of people in this end of the world see that as like, that's fine. Like, let people love who they want to love and do what they need to do. Sonny is going to get close to Natalia, a new woman in town. Oh, most likely. I think when things go AWOL with Ava, that's his next sort of lady. Alright, let's move on and talk about Jason, Anna, and Dex. Jason had met with Anna at Hatta's office, where she caught him up to speed on her end of the Pikeman investigation and how she thinks Valentine is involved, but that, because of what had recently transpired between her and Valentine and how she accidentally shot his daughter, she feels like she can't be objective because she sees Valentine as a father first, which is funny because Sonny has children and a niece who works for the ADA office. And she just wants to be all up in that and force Molly to be his prosecutor. And again, reminder, I am more than okay with Anna going after Sonny. Flimsy as the reasonings behind it are, I'm glad that people are getting to the point where they're not going to apologize or look the other way with Sonny anymore. I just wish they handled it better and how they got there. But if they're going to have her go all in on Sonny with how their relationship was over the years, then it only makes sense for her to have that same energy towards Valentine as well. At least that's how I feel in the matter. Later in the week, Jason meets Dex at a new bar called Brown Dog, which kind of looks like Jake's, aka the Floating Rib. Wouldn't surprise me if it was the same set, just kind of made over. Anyway, the two of them lay everything out on the table. Dex gives him the rundown on the evidence he once had against Sonny, what he did with it, how Dex also tried to have, how Sonny had Dex try to kill Cyrus Renault. They also talked about when Sonny went into business with Pikeman. He mentioned Valentine and how the day Sonny was shot at the Metro Court, he spotted Valentine meeting with someone in Port Charles and even snapped a photo of it. Did that happen on screen? I don't remember. If y'all remember, then cool. I don't know. For some reason in my head, I feel like Anna and Valentine saw each other the night that Sonny was shot. Like, did he not? Or, like, maybe I'm remembering. Maybe it was an episode or two before. But I swear, Anna or Valentine went to either Anna or Sonny saying to watch. Oh no! Valentine called Anna and told her to tell Sonny to watch his back, right? I don't know. So much back and forth with this Pikeman stuff, it's hard to keep up. I think they changed it and they made it seem like he didn't start Pikeman. Valentine did start Pikeman. I hope Sonny doesn't sleep with Natalia. Christina is with Blaze. Sonny shouldn't be with the mother. It ain't right. Anna is a better agent than Val. He better not sleep on her. Yeah, we're gonna talk about all that too. Dex was trying way too hard to look tough in front of Jason. TJ forgot all Sonny did for him when he was younger. When Sonny got shot, when he got shot at the Metrocorp where Curtis got hit. Last summer. I'm so glad that Carly realized something's wrong with Sonny. We'll talk about that later. I think Anna didn't believe Valentine when he told her he didn't know anything about Pikeman. Well, yeah, she definitely didn't. That's why she went and told Jason about her theories on Valentine. She said that she thinks that he's up in his neck in this. But yeah, anyway, once Jason gets this information from Dex, he calls Anna to share it with her, but before Dex leaves, she gives him his official welcome to the police academy letter. So now Dex is officially in the police academy. And actually when Jocelyn and Trina went for a run later on in the week, they ran into Dex training, and this man cannot do cardio, y'all. He looks so... I hate, like, it's kind of, maybe it's slightly teetering on insulting the actor, but you can tell that boy don't run for like, exercise ever. He looked like he was just, like, I don't know, he just looked really awkward running. Just like he looked really awkward during the training montage that they had him do. Valentine is like another boss, or is still an ultimate boss of Pikeman. I still think, isn't it just Jack and Valentine? Or John, whatever. Because haven't we been kind of seeing, like, them talk about that? Like, while he's in there, Valentine's having to take over operations. Okay, let's backtrack and let's actually talk about Valentine and Anna for a minute, because these two characters are about to go down a dicey road. Valentine met up with Jack Brennan. I forgot. They randomly changed his name so they could have Jagger insist on being called John himself. Anyway, he just met him at Pentonville, but signed in as visiting Nicholas Cassadine as to not blow his cover. He gives him an update on Sonny's behavior and Anna's investigation. Anna had questioned him but hadn't given her suspicions towards him away. So Valentine assures him that Jack is the only person that she focused on, which we already know that wasn't the case because she already believed he was up to his neck in this stuff. But Valentine reassures him he'll keep her close because she's no dummy. And Jack knows it for sure as well. And Valentine should know it. But yeah, then the two of them ran into each other at the Metro Court where he flirted with her, caught her up on his life, and even tried to ask her out to dinner so that they can start from scratch. She told him she'd think about it. And then Jason texted her, and that's when she went to meet Jason and talk about pikemen. But naturally, as soon as Jason told her what he knew about Valentine, she called him back and agreed to go on the dinner date. And so another game of cat and mouse begins with those two. Which is which? I'm hoping Anna's the cat in this case. Because, the bad guys need to pay too. There's an overhead Jack. Over at Jack and Valentine, remember, was like a de facto boss. Interesting. Alright. Let's move on now. Let's talk about Mr. Corinthos and Ms. Jerome. Ms. Jerome, Ava, visited Nicholas in Pentonville since she heard that he was being moved out of state. Yes, Adam Huss reprised his role once more. I love seeing him. They basically spent the whole time talking about Sonny, how she's living with him, how he depends on her, and even shared that she's discovered someone switched his meds and is keeping an eye on him until she figures out the culprit who changed them. Of course, Nicholas asks if he's falling for her, if she's falling for him, and she insisted no. She's open to it in the future if they remain close, but I don't think it's gonna happen. In all honesty, we haven't seen her trying to find out who the culprit is yet, so I don't know if I necessarily buy in when she told that to Nicholas. Mind you, it would make more sense than Ava just suddenly being scheming and evil again. Yeah, she relished in Carly being on the outside looking in for a change, and I can see that being partial motivation to her because she's always been on, the outside and been basically teetering between fighting for custody for Avery unless she stays in her place and stays on the outside and stuff. But I don't know. Considering she just saw that revenge on Carly while being close with Sonny won't lead to anything good for the person seeking it, with her former bestie Nina, I don't know. You'd think that she'd handle this a little more carefully. Sonny's inner circle is getting smaller by the day, y'all, and the people on the outside are noticing that she is at the center of it. And on top of that, Dante, who had just gotten a visit from Sonny, who mentioned he's aware Dex is becoming an officer, is now thinking him being soft on Sonny all these years has compromised the oath that he took as an officer of the law. And now he's either feeling like he's going to have to choose to leave the PCPD or grow a pair and go after Sonny just as hard as any other criminal instead of removing himself from his father's cases. Judging by how the writers have been penning the show and Sonny's former parade of Sonny worshippers, I'm guessing the latter is what they're going to go with, and Dante's just going to start to be hard on Sonny, and it's going to be another betrayal in Sonny's life. Because Sonny even told Dante he's all that he has left in his family. And I'm like, did you forget about Christina? Because as far as I know, he doesn't know that Christina knows the truth about what he did with getting Dex to try and kill Cyrus. But Christina still loves him and wants a relationship with him. And she hasn't said anything to him, so I don't know where that came from. But I feel like his mind is clouded and like he's starting to lose his memory a bit because of the lack of meds that he's taking. And to that end, Carly shows up to Sonny's place to discuss Donna, and Ava had tried to shoo her off because she got there before Sonny got home from Dante's. Not that he lives far from Dante, it's like across the hall. But she couldn't shoo Carly away, and when Sonny got home, Carly told him that she thinks it's best that that Donna stays away from being at this house, while he's got such a hatred for her. And Sonny's like, "You're taking away my child, you betrayed me, you and Jason both." And when she starts kind of listing off the bizarre things he's been saying, it finally clicks to her that he's acting like he does when he's off his meds. I'm surprised it took her this long because she, I think, consistently has been there almost since he's been diagnosed, right in the middle of Sonny's breakdowns every time. So it's like, how does she not see it until now? But we do know that Jason had suspected that already and asked him if he was off his meds. But of course, Sonny is taking his meds, and he told Jason the truth, and I think that's all that Jason needs to know that. But Carly, being at Sonny's house, took the initiative to check the pills, and she sees, she was worried that he just wasn't taking her meds, or taking his meds, obviously. But she sees that they're the newest ones and that he appears to be taking them. But she knows this is exactly what Sonny is like when he gets off his bipolar meds, and suggests that he adjust his dosage. Which I think, I'm glad that they kind of went there with Carly at least, because, she's seeing this is exactly how he acts. Like, there's something wrong. If you are taking your meds, then there's something wrong with your meds, and you need to fix them. So Ava's obviously observing all of this, right? And I feel at this point she has to make a choice, and the choice is between never ever telling him she knew anything about his meds, which, let's face it, it's a soap. So if she does go that route, someone's gonna find out. And the other choice is to take this opportunity to pretend like she'll look into this matter herself, even though she already has, as if she hadn't yet though, and then be like, "Sonny, I think your meds were tampered with, so I looked into it, and it's not even close to the dosage it's supposed to be. So something's going on." That's the only way she's gonna salvage this. But, and maybe once he's back on his meds, if that were how it plays out, she'll still likely be trusted by him and will be in the clear. But for now, girl is playing with fire, and I don't see her telling Sonny the truth at this point, because that's, the writers are going to play her as evil. So I don't know. Okay, what have I missed in the comments? Let me scroll back up for a second. I hope Ava survives this. She might not, Ava wants Sonny crazy. That's the only way he can put up with her. That's true. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard this time to figure out who is messing with Sonny's meds. No one suspects Valentine. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know where Ava would truly begin. I suppose that she can maybe hire Spinelli to look into where he gets his meds and see if there's anyone that had access to the meds to take Sonny down. Maybe that's what Jason's gonna have Spinelli look into for him, because people are gonna suspect that something's off with his meds. Carly already thinks there's something off with his meds. You like Blaze's mom better on All My Children? Can't speak to it. I never saw. I swear I need this bigger. There we go. Okay. I think think they're gonna make Nina the other... They're gonna redeem her? I don't know. I've seen people when they're off half their meds sometimes. Sometimes you don't really notice that they are. But like, it wasn't just like a small amount of the dosage, right? Like, it was a huge chunk. I think before his dosage was like 75% or something like that, and it's been brought down to 10. When Carly finds out Ava knew the whole time that Sonny was off his medication, she's going to get Ava. She's going to tell Sonny, and he's going to get Ava, realistically. What are they going to do when it's revealed Sonny's meds have been tampered with? Sonny has a defense for all of this. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I've mentioned before. Like, everyone that's going so in on Sonny is going in because of what he did to Cyrus. And we know that Sonny was already off of his regular dosage when he went after Cyrus. So it's going to get him off of that charge at the very least. After what happened to Morgan, Ava's going to be blamed. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I think everyone's conclusion is going to be that Ava tampered with the meds. Because, like, all the evidence is going to point to her. Sonny's isolated everyone but her. There's, phone calls made to a lab about his medication that can probably be traced, and it will be traced back to her. So it's going to look like she did it. Nathan, you said, hopefully with all these career changes, the writers know what to do. Just don't change them and leave it be. Show them when they're working. Yeah. Angeli said, honestly, Sonny and Ava were doing decent before the med switch. I don't understand why she would want him platonically closer to her. She's sniffing his cologne. Ava wants him. Oh, yikes, Kaiwan. I mean, here's the thing, Kaiwan. I too know, actually, three of my friends all suffer with bipolar disorder. And they all suffer it in different ways. Obviously, none of them are murderers. But, I've seen when they go off their medication or when they're not medicated at all. And it's pretty vile. Like, you see the change in their personalities, and it's like, it's a scary thing to witness. And even I've had to be in situations with one of my friends in particular where I'm like, are you off your meds? Are you okay? Are you taking them? Have you gone to a doctor? Like, things like that. Thankfully, he's at least got enough, like, control that he's like, I know I haven't, and it's my doing, but, like, at the end of the day, like, it's up to them on whether they decide or not to go back on it. Sonny's paranoid. He thinks everyone's out to get him. He's distorting reality. Soon he will be in the living room in the dark, rocking back and forth, seeing things. Probably. I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, what I did notice in Sonny and Carly's conversation, or no, was it the conversation with Carly? Maybe it was the conversation with Dante, where he talked about Carly's betrayal, and he was saying that Carly said, I'm done with you. Like, and I was like, no, you said that to her. She asked you if this is really how it's going to end. Like, all she said is, I don't recognize you. What happened to you? What is going on? Like, listen to what you're saying. So, like, he's already distorting things that, Carly just said to him the other day. But yeah, he's gonna get there soon in Angel, for sure. I don't think Sonny was off his meds when he beat up Cyrus. Valentine didn't get the idea to tamper with Sonny's meds until the third assassination attempt failed. And that was after he beat up Cyrus. No, we heard Valentine say on screen that the meds were already tampered with beforehand, and that Sonny beat up Cyrus shortly after the meds were already tampered with. Like, yeah, we didn't hear him talk about how the meds were messed up with until after the third assassination attempt, but we did hear him establish that he was already off his meds by the time Sonny beat up Cyrus. So that is canon. Classic bipolar is on always lying. That is true. That is true. Yeah, and I've caught my friends that are like bipolar and off their meds in lies, and it's like, I don't think Ava can handle Sonny seeing stuff like visions. Yeah, it's gonna get way too hard for Ava to handle on her own. For sure. She's only seen like, I mean, we don't, like, obviously Morgan got pretty unhinged, but he hadn't been off of the meds that long. Sonny's been weaned off of his medication for months now. So, like, it's gonna get way worse than it was when Morgan was. I haven't seen that yet. Yeah, no, they taught, like, as soon as they actually brought up that Sonny's meds were tampered with the first time, they mentioned when it started. Like, and I remember, like, when they announced that, I was like, oh my god, now we have a reason for why Sonny's been so weird lately. And like, to that end, they addressed that it happened before he beat up Cyrus. So now we have a reason why he's making these stupid decisions. And I don't know if that was necessarily the plan, because obviously the new writers took over long after those things happened, but it does explain it. And I was glad that they explained it when they did. So like, now we have a reason that makes sense, because Sonny, for all his like anger issues, he's not stupid. Like, he's not going to beat up Cyrus in a church and give him a reason to, get himself arrested. Psychopathy is completely different from bipolar disorder. It's true. I saw the comments. I haven't decided what we're going to watch yet, Kaiwan. I'm going to go through them probably in the next couple days, and then decide from then which one suggestion. Because we're only going to do maybe 1 or 2 reactions at a time, and try to keep them like consistent with each other, like in terms of the topic. We'll see. But yeah, let's move on. I only really have one part of my notes left. Saved this one for last because truthfully, this subject gives me the ick. It's Nina and Drew. They hooked up again. Willow almost walked in on them, and they had to get dressed quickly and pretend that they were in a meeting. And if this was a bit more accurate to real life, Willow would definitely smell the sex in the air, especially the way those two were going at it. And then Nina leaves so Willow and Drew could talk. If you recall, I mentioned earlier Drew offered Willow an opportunity to be a spokesperson about bone marrow transplants in his non-profit he's opening up. She wanted to know more about it so she could make an informed decision, and by the end of the week, it's pretty clear she's going to do it. It's Angel, the choices are whatever you guys left in the comments on last Wednesday's video. If you didn't leave a comment, then it's not going to be your choice, but go back to that video, or you guys can leave comments after this video too if you have more ideas. Because it's up to y'all. I'm not doing a poll. You guys are just going to give me suggestions, and I'm going to go with one of them. Until like we get back into the swings of things regularly. Willow did not smell that sex. Exactly. It's so ridiculous. Yeah, me too, de Havilland. But yeah, anyway, Willow had also seen that Drew and Nina are getting along, and she figures, well, if Drew can get along and work with her after she threw him in prison and he almost died, then perhaps I've been too hard on Nina and I should try to forgive her. Oh girl, if you only knew that this man was just thinking with his dick and still hates her. Like, damn, I don't know. I really don't like how they're writing Drew, and it seems so ridiculous to me that they're just having hate sex. Like, it's so nuts to me. But Nina does get him to soften towards her when she agrees to take him into a meeting with a politician that she was having, that happened to be a close friend of her dad's. What do we know about Nina's dad, by the way? Because I'm drawing a blank. But for one of his many philanthropic, I can't even pronounce that word, ventures of his, that's why he wanted to have a meeting with this politician guy. Drew has so many of these philanthropic ventures that I'm losing track, because there's the one with Cyrus, there's the one with Willow, now there's the one with this politician, there's one with Jordan. Like, I don't know what's if they're all under the same umbrella, or if he's just doing all these different things. Also, Nina told Maxie that she had sex with Drew twice, and Maxie was as appalled as I was. Like, it's so gross to me. Oh man. But anyway, that was this week in a nutshell. Again, Wednesday we're going to be doing, hopefully going to be doing reaction videos. I'm looking at your comments from last Wednesday's video and kind of going from that. I think what I'll try to do, at least for this month, is after every Wednesday stream, I'm going to have you guys go into the comments and make your suggestions. Don't do it in the chat, because I'm not going to see it once I end the stream, you know? I'm not going to see the chat. So, leave it in the comments after the stream is over this upcoming Wednesday. Nina loves Carly's leftovers. Just gobbles them up, Sandy. Alright, y'all. But yeah, does Susan Moore have a personality? I barely remember Susan Moore myself, like, from the clips I've seen. I'm not gonna lie, your obsession with her is so weird to me, because she wasn't that interesting of a character, and she's dead, and she ain't coming back. So, oh, did we discuss Nicholas Chavez? We didn't. I mean, we talked about it on, we talked about it last week, and that he was out. The only difference now is that Nicholas took to Twitter and just kind of addressed it and said thank you, and specifically thanked the Sabrina fans and thanked Frank Valentini because he wouldn't be as busy as he is now without him, which is true, because I think GH was his first acting gig, because he was selling cars before that. So, you know, he's not wrong, and I think that he is grateful, but like I said before, I think that likely after he was done filming Monster, I'm sure Ryan Murphy snatched him up for American Horror Story. I like, it would shock me if he didn't, truthfully, because I think a lot of actors from his other shows have also kind of ended up there at one point or another. So I'm down. Yeah, that was up in the air too, de Havilland. 2006 was kind of the time that I remember YouTube come on. Or that's when I started watching a lot of classic GH stuff on YouTube anyway. The official statement. They're still discussing the future of Spencer. Like, do you mean the official statement by, like, Nicholas? Or is there another official statement besides this Twitter post? Because I didn't see them discussing the future of Spencer, just that he was thrilled for the opportunity that Frank had given him, but that he's busy now. But yeah, I think that in reality, Nicholas is probably gonna keep his relationship good with GH, because, you know, sort of breaking into the primetime scene and the primetime television scene is not easy to do. But, you know, this dude is lucky in the sense that he is one hell of an actor, and Ryan Murphy snatched him up for Monster, so he already sees that in him. And I think once you work for Ryan, you've got so many TV shows at your disposal, you know? Like, Ryan's got so many sort of different projects going all at once. It's wild. But yeah, anyway, I think I'll wrap up the live stream. My allergies are slowly starting to act up, which I'm not surprised. It was hella windy, and I'm sure that played a role in why my allergies are bad, and probably why the internet went down for half the area too. And sorry I was late, y'all, because of that, but that was out of my control. I was ready to go, and then, like, not even 10 minutes before I was about to live stream, it went down. But I'm glad it resolved pretty quickly. It was only 15 minutes late, so... Alright, but yeah, I'll end the live stream here. I will catch you guys this Wednesday. I'm going to be reacting to, I think it was mostly just, if not all, I think all of Kaiwan's suggestions, or it was all Kaiwan's suggestions. So I'm not going to do all of them, Kaiwan, but I'll at least do one of them. I'll have to go back and see what you said again. But we'll see. But yeah, I will end it here. I will catch you guys this Wednesday. If you liked the video or the live stream, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. I'd really appreciate it. And I will catch you guys this Wednesday. Peace out. Mwah. Have a good week, guys.